Welcome to this Upwork Masterclass. My name is Leandro Ferrari, and in this video I will show you all the strategies and the tactics that helped me to get my first client in 6 days and become a top-rated Upwork freelancer in just 16 weeks. Before we jump right in, let's have a look at the contents. We will start with what Upwork is and why it actually is super powerful. We will then break some limiting beliefs many people have around Upwork. We will then set up the profile in the exact manner which helped me to get successful on Upwork really fast. I will then show you the exact application process, so how you find jobs, how you apply properly, how you apply in a very personal manner and get jobs without having testimonials by showing them proof that you can actually solve their problem. We also look at connects and bidding and different pricing tactics I used. Once someone replied to your application, we will then obviously need to convert this lead to a client. So we'll have a proper look at this, and I'll show you how you lead discovery calls, how you propose a project, and what you do between the moment that you had a discovery call and the proposal. And last but not least, we'll have a look at how you deliver a project and how you eventually grow into different income streams with Upwork. All Upwork essentially is a platform which connects businesses and freelancers or agencies. Why is this so powerful though? To understand this, we need to understand the 5 levels of awareness. This is a marketing concept and goes from problem unaware to problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and in the end, most aware. Now let's look at this in a concrete business example. In this example, we'll look at businesses who want to increase their conversion rate and look at the different stages and what they might be thinking in those stages. In a complete unaware state, a business might think, I don't know that I can triple my conversion rate by replying fast. Now they maybe saw an ad about how you can increase your conversion rate by replying faster. And now they are problem aware. They see that they have the problem that they reply too late. So now they think, I could triple my conversion rate by replying faster. What tools or services are there? Okay, now they go to search for those tools, right? And become solution aware. They understand, all right, I could hire someone to immediately contact the prospects coming in. I could have a voice AI agent calling my prospects, or I can use some other software which immediately text these people. Now that they are solution aware, they actually become product aware. So they choose one of those solutions, in this case, the voice AI, and they think something like, I want a voice agent. There is VAPI, 11 Labs, and so on. So they start to look for different specific solutions for different products to their problem. And then they become most aware. This is when they decide for a specific product, when they know all the things about the product, about the service that you offer. We can also look at this like a journey where people or businesses go from unaware to problem aware to solution aware to product aware and then to most aware. There was an amazing Super Bowl ad that I saw, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and it really caught my attention. It was from Novartis and it was about breast cancer screening. So let me quickly show you how they took their potential customers on this journey. Essentially what the ad showed is that some % of women get breast cancer. And by doing a screening every year or every 5 years or every 10 years, you can decrease your percentage or the likelihood of getting breast cancer by a lot. And now they try to get the people on this buying journey, on this awareness journey, as low as possible towards the most aware state. So women and men which didn't know how common breast cancer is were in group number 1. They were the unaware people, right? And through this ad, they actually showed them how common breast cancer is. Now they are problem aware. They think, oh my God, my sister could get breast cancer, or my girlfriend or my wife could get breast cancer. How can we solve this, right? They are problem aware. Now they care. Now they made them solution aware. They showed them that through screening, they can actually decrease the percentage by a lot. And now all of those men and all of those women know, okay, there is a problem. I could get breast cancer. This is not good at all. And the solution to it is essentially doing a screen every X years. And now they also told them that obviously they do the screening, right? Novartis told them that they offer this screening and they can go to this website. I wouldn't say that they were most aware at this stage. I don't think that they knew everything about the product and how it works. So this is the job of the last part of this journey, let's say, which would be the website where they actually wanted people to get to. The example of before is a traditional marketing example, right? Where we have a business or a freelancer which does some kind of marketing. In this case, we had TV, but this could also be meta ads, or it could be organic content. And you try to give some kind of message to your potential customers. And you try, if you're really good at it, to give different kind of messages to customers in different awareness stages, right? Here it comes down to targeting, and this is difficult, but if you know how to do it, this is extremely valuable. On Upwork, this whole thing looks completely different. Here we only have businesses who are solution aware or product aware. So businesses who say, I want a voice agent, there is Vapi, 11 Labs, and so on. Can you help me implement that? Maybe can you help me find the best one for my business? Then those businesses also have pain. Otherwise, they wouldn't take the time to actually write a job description. You as a freelancer will see this job description, you will apply to that the same as other freelancers will, and then the business can see those applications. It has different ideas of how people would solve this problem, becomes most aware of the solution they essentially want and the solution that you will provide, and essentially will choose someone to work with. What does this mean? On Upwork, we do not have to talk to problem-unaware clients. We do not have to talk to clients which are not ready to spend money, and only have solution-aware clients and clients which are ready to spend money fast. I think it makes sense to know a little about the platform you'll be working on. So here you see that most of the work on Upwork is coming from web, mobile, and software development. Keep in mind, those numbers are from 2023. So by now, probably we will have less writing and more software development because we will have more AI services. We then have other categories: sales and marketing, design and creative, and admin and support. Those would be the VAs and so on, which mostly come from the Philippines, by the way. Now we have top countries using Upwork by freelancer revenue. So we have lots of revenue generated in the United States, the Philippines, India, the United Kingdom, and Canada also have some noticeable amount. And the rest is split up by other people in the world, like me, for example, which is in Switzerland. So we get a very small chunk from there as well. Here are some more numbers. They are from 2023, but they help us understand how many businesses are actually searching for people on Upwork. So here we have the amount of Upwork clients. So these are other businesses. And by now we have 7 digits right here. So over 1 million businesses registered on Upwork, which already had a job or already searched for someone doing a job for them. But there are also over 18 million freelancers on Upwork. And now you might think, oh my God, this means I need to compete against so many of them, which is in some way true, in another way not. So there are many freelancers which are not active anymore on Upwork. And there is one thing I really like about this number. And it is, if 18 million people could make money on this platform, then for sure you will make it work as well. Let's have a look at a few cons of Upwork. So there is high competition. As I just showed you, there are many people on the platform itself. However, a lot of freelancers on this platform apply lazily, and our strategies that we will be implementing will put you immediately above the most of these people, no joke. Next up, Upwork takes a service fee. This ranges between 10 and 20%, but this is essentially the cost we have to pay to Upwork for them to provide us with a warm lead, with a company which has a problem and actually wants to solve it and has money to solve that. So I would say that's worth it early on. Then connects cost you money, meaning you will need to pay money to apply to jobs. This is the case, but again, you pay this money to apply to the job because Upwork gives you this possibility. If you do ads, for example, you pay money to Mark Zuckerberg if you do meta ads, and it's the same thing, right? You pay to get in front of the customers. So this is just a normal marketing principle. But on Upwork, the return on investment, which we will have a look at later on, is for sure a positive one. Now, it's slow to start. The first client is the hardest. This is true. Imagine you are a company and you receive 10 different applications, and now 9 of them already have some stars right here, some 4 or 5 stars review. And now there's this one, which is you at the beginning, which doesn't have any review yet. So this is exactly why I have this masterclass, to show you how you can still get this job. And once you have some reviews, it will automatically get rolling, and it will be much easier for you to get future clients as well. And on Upwork, you will find some low budget clients. You learn how to filter out which ones are actually worth working with and which ones aren't. Let's have a look at the pros of Upwork. The clients on there, they are already problem aware. They took the time to actually write a job description. They have a budget, they have a problem, and they want to solve it. They are ready to hire someone to do that for them. Upwork has a built-in payment protection, and this will protect you and your client. What it means is that when you start a project, you will fix a sum which the client needs to pay you. The client will actually pay it to Upwork. Upwork will hold it for a while until you request payment, until you finished your job, and then the payment will be released. This means that you will never work without knowing that the client actually paid the money. Then it's perfect for beginners. You don't have to do cold outreach. You don't need a network around you. You can just apply to the jobs. Then your profile compounds. Every review which you get makes the next client easier. You have global client access. This means you can work with companies all over the world. And in the future, in 1 or 2 years, when you worked with 10, 20, 30 different companies, you can actually say, I worked with companies in 5 different continents. I worked with companies in the United States, in Switzerland, in Germany, and so on. This is great for your portfolio. Then there's a great variety of projects. And this is amazing because it actually shows you with what kind of companies you want to work, with what kind of tools you want to work, and with which ones you don't want to work. It gives you a lot of depth in your portfolio. The proof of work you have is actually public, so everyone can see the good work you've already done. The barrier to entry is extremely low. You can start today and can end up with a client in 2 days. I saw people where this happened. So be ready once you start applying for that. And last but not least, you will get experience. You will get experience in applying to jobs, in having sales calls, in getting rejected, but also in converting leads to clients. And this experience will help you in your further entrepreneurial or freelancer journey. Now, what are the limiting beliefs that many people have around Upwork? Someone with a limited mindset could say, I'm not experienced enough to charge for this. Someone with a growth mindset would say, you don't need experience, you need results. And now you think, oh my God, but I don't have any. Give me a second. Your first client isn't hiring your resume, they're hiring your ability to solve their problem. And now you might still think, but how should I show them that I can solve their problem? I have no reviews, I have nothing, I never had a job for someone online, I never made money before. Give me a second. On Upwork, you can show them exactly how you solve their problem before they say yes, by a special tactic that we will be using when we apply to Upwork jobs. A limited mindset person could also say there are already thousands of people doing this, while a growth mindset person would say yes, but most of them send copy-paste applications and never record a video. They never show on a video that they could actually solve their problem. I will show you everything about this process, so keep your feet still. They never mock up a solution for the client. They never show the client how they would actually approach the problem. They never say hello in the client's language, for example. So you see, those are small details which we will use to actually put us above those freelancers. You are not competing with thousands of people. You are competing with a bunch of people, which most of them are pretty lazy. And yes, some of those people will do different strategies, and all of those people watching this video and being in my course will do different strategies, but there's also enough jobs for those people who actually care. The cake is big enough for all of us, and you can have your piece as well. I don't care whether you believe in God or the universe or in whatever. If you go out to the forest, or if you look in the sky during a snowy winter day, or if you go to the beach and look at the sand, you will see that there is an incredible abundance on this planet, that there is enough for everyone. The next limited person might come and say, clients on Upwork, they don't pay well. Now our growth person again says low rates attract low rate clients. So it's also a matter of how do we sell ourselves. Then the way to position yourself, the quality of your profile, your intro video, your proposal, all of it signals your value before you even write a single price somewhere. Then prices are not fixed. This means even if a client says his budget is $200, If you can explain to them properly why your solution is worth much more, you can get much more money. And now, the first few clients, my friends, are for experience. If you can get money, that's great, and you will get money. And the more money you can get, the better it is. But it is about the experience of getting rejected, the experience of having sales calls, the experience of setting up a project management system to understand how I actually deliver a project, to write a proposal, to get a yes and feel this feeling over and over again. This is what it's all about in the first few clients. Now the next little Harry Potter depressed comes in depressed and says, I need to wait until I'm ready. And the growth, Harry Potter says, ready is a myth. Your first application will teach you more than 6 months of preparation, and this is actually true. My first project was for $25, by the way, and it took me 4 hours to do. So I was paid really bad if we go for money. So I was paid bad in money terms, but I was paid very good in experience terms. And by the way, the first project I did was with a tool called make.com, and I couldn't really use this tool well. I learned it for like 2 days. I just played around with it a little bit, and I just tried to sell it well. And I searched for a client which was searching for a beginner, and I told him, I will do this project for you with everything that I can. I will throw it into there, but please give me a positive review. I would appreciate it a lot. And he gave me my first positive review. And then obviously you can start to build on top of that. So you don't need to be ready. There is no ready. Just go out and the real world will make you ready. It will prepare you. The next stupid little head says, I'll start once I have testimonials. What a great idea. Your first testimonial obviously comes from your first client, right? And your first client comes from your first few applications. You cannot skip this part. You can just begin, get through it and get it done. Now, our last depressed little Potterhead comes in and says, I'm not a real expert in AI or anything else in the endeavor that you want to do. Neither were most of people when they got their first client. I definitely wasn't an expert in this when I got my first client. Expertise is built in the work and not before it. So you become an expert by actually solving real world problems, not just playing around on your computer, because there are so many factors that will come into it when you actually solve problems for a client. There is so much more to it than actually just getting or deploying an app online. There's many more factors coming into play when you solve real problems for real money. If you can solve someone's problem today, then this is enough to start. If you can solve your own problems, if you just solved anything, you can start. Let's get tactical now and actually set up your profile. Here we look at your profile picture. How can we actually make it stand out and look professional? Then at the copy, the biography that you will be using in your Upwork profile, what little tactic can we use in our hourly rate? Then why is an intro video super important, and what script can you use to actually get it done? And why should we have a website for credibility, and how should this website look like? Let's start with the profile picture. You see this black sheep in between all the different white sheeps. All of those white sheeps, they are NPCs, and what we are is the king in the jungle, and we actually want to stand out. The formula to that is pretty simple. You want to have a professional picture with a bright background. Easy, right? Whether this bright background is blue or green or orange or yellow actually doesn't make any difference. There could also be other bright colors which you like. You see my YouTube profile picture is violet, so just try different things and choose whatever color you like best. Now, what's the actual process to get there? You take an average selfie. You feed this to an AI model. You then go to Canva. You import this picture, and then you drag this circle element. You drag the picture into the circle element, and you will download the selection. So let's do this once together. To let you look at the picture, I will take this one. I shot this a while ago to create a thumbnail. And I will take this picture, I will improve it inside of my chosen LLM. I now uploaded this picture to ChatGPT, and I will go to my free school community and will actually grab this prompt. You will find all the different videos from this masterclass in here, in all of those small little sections with the resources that you need and some extra text to it. So I would love to see you there as well. I am grabbing this profile picture prompt. I go back to ChatGPT and I actually paste it in. And now you see that we have multiple different colors to choose from. And what I want is, let's go with a soft sky blue. So let's put this away and let's put all the other ones away. And let's say we want just sky blue, not soft sky blue. Let's go with that and we'll send it off. And what we should get is this picture, a little bit more professional with a nice background. Look at this, it looks fine. Here it looks a little bit distorted. So let's try it a second time with a tool called Whisk. This is from Google, and do it there as well. Here, pretty much the same game. I'm coming here, I am taking this is my subject, right? Now I will go to ChatGPT and take this prompt from here. So we want it in the same color as before. We paste this right here. Just have a look that everything is fine. Let's have a look at the ratio right here. Let's make it square and let's send this off and see what we will get. Most likely it will be fine. And then we take this picture and actually do the next steps inside of Canva. Whisk is already finished. It did it. I have a professional picture. I have my background, so this is fine. Let's take this picture, let's download it and go back to Canva. In Canva, I open up a new project. I just went to social media and now an Instagram post. I will see a blank page, so this is actually perfect. I will just grab my picture from before like this. This is what it looks like, so this is fine. Now let me edit this slightly. What I do mostly is I just crank up the brightness a little bit so it looks more bright. I think this should be fine. Let's look at the contrast. Okay, a little more contrast, little more highlights. All right, this should be good. Now in Elements, what we are doing is searching for the circle, just like that. And now you have different circles here in frames. This is where you want to go. So you have one without a border, but you also have circles with borders. So choose whatever you want. At the beginning, I had one with a border. Now I have one without. So there is really no right or wrong there. Now that you have this, you just take this picture, you drag it in here, and now you see, but this does not look good at all. So what do? We double click on it, and now we can actually zoom in just like this. Go a little bit like this, a little bit like this. Okay, this seems fine. A little bit more. How much? I want my head really big, right? So this is good. Let's go a little bit more. All right, big head. Perfect. Perfect. That's good. So we take that and now I have my professional profile picture. I could again come and just adapt it in whatever way I want. So let me go back to 0 right here, a little bit more brightness. Yes. So you see, you can play around with it, but this is probably the fastest way to get a professional picture. You just take a all right selfie, you go to ChatGPT, you go to Whisk, you go to Nano Banana, you improve it with the prompt I gave you, and then you actually download this. Now, if I just press on here, it will not let me download this thing. So this is just and maybe I just don't know how to do it, but if you run into the same issue, this is what I would do. I would add a small little point like this, and now you see my brain and how it works. I will put it into a dark spot right here. This is fine. And now I can just come here. I can drag over those things and I can download the selection. I would download it with a transparent background. And now I actually have my profile picture, which I can download as a PNG. And I'm done with that. One small repetition. What did we just do? We took an average selfie. We fed it to an AI model, changed the background, made it look more professional. We came into Canva. We then took this element circle, we dragged it into there, we made sure it fits fine by double clicking on this circle, and then we downloaded the selection by actually adding a little point in a dark area so that it let me download the selection. Now let's look at the profile copy. There are actually 3 different things we want to have a look at here. So first of all is the title of your profile. We then have the so-called above the fold section. This is the part which every customer will see if they not press on more. And then we have the long version, let's say, where you get to tell your story a little bit. This is for the customers which will be serious in actually signing you and want to know more about you. Here, as a general rule, we have fake it till you make it. So what we want to add, even though if you do not have any testimonials on Upwork, we want to add some kind of work experience and testimonials. And the more numbers, meaning the more money making activities we can add there, the better it is. So in our testimonials, in my testimonials, for example, at the beginning, what I added was that I worked for Hilton Hotels and Mövenpick Resorts. And I didn't add how much money I made them because it was not possible to actually track this down properly, but it was possible to track down how much money they make annually. And I just added those two figures right there. What I also like to do pretty much always is tell a story. So I told my story in my longer biography for the people which were actually interested in hiring me. How could those texts look like for you? So on the one hand, inside of the community, you have the whole presentation and you can have a look at how my text looks like, and you have different prompts. Here you have the above the fold prompt where you will add your name, your main service, the different tools that you use, the different clients you worked with, and so on. And you will then get different options of how that could look like for you. Here you have the below the fold prompt. So this is the section where people get to when they press more. And you also have my full example right here. So here you have the above the fold and the below the fold version. If we have a look on Upwork itself, you will see that this is the below the fold version. And when you press more, this is what you then actually see. Probably I should update it now. This is still my very first draft that I did at the beginning, but it's good enough. By the way, you can send me your profile. I will tell you how you can improve it. The easiest way is to join the community, and otherwise you can shoot me an email at leandroferrari@gmail.com and I will actually have a look at it and give you some solid feedback. Now the hourly rate. I would suggest to start between $25 and $50 because this still shows the people that you value yourself and you value your time, but it doesn't scare them off like $80 might, especially since at the beginning we are trying to get maybe one or two smaller projects. Of course, the bigger they are, the more money you can make, the better it is. I root for you for sure. But at the beginning, I would go with something like that. And then you want to use uneven numbers because this sparks curiosity. This girl thought about what her time is actually worth. It's not just a, $27 or $30. No, I think $35 is more fair. $40. Why does he have 87, 72? Like what type of calculation was behind that? So just spark some type of curiosity. The client gets 10, 15, 20 different applications, sometimes 50 different applications of freelancers who want to do his job. And this is what it will look like to him. We have Leandro Ferrari for $23, Pamela Schmid for $35, Mia Egli for $30, Cornelia Stein for $40, Mario Gross for $25, Rashid Naval for $34.77. You see, this stands out. And we want to stand out because we are competing against people. But the better our profile biography is, the better our profile picture is, the more unique we are, the website that we have, the solution that we show. You see how all those things compound and actually make your chances really big in getting a client fast. And of course, here we have the next NPC. Next up, the intro video. Please go have a look at mine and you will see that I already got much better at making videos, and this video wasn't so professional. It was just me with the black background talking about myself, which is all you need. The video doesn't have to be professional at all. It has to be authentic. The clients want to see what they actually get. So the script could look something like this. You have an intro, like a hello, I am, and then you tell your quick story why you do what you do. For me, it's, let me quickly remember, it's, hello, my name is Leandro Ferrari. After my time in the Swiss military, I went to Thailand where I got to lead my grandfather's business. I automated multiple processes. I liked it a lot. I came back to Switzerland and started to do the same thing for clients here, and now thought I give Upwork a shot to work with clients worldwide, increase my experience and have like valuable impact, something like this. Then you tell a little bit about your testimonials. I worked for Hilton Hotels and Mövenpick Resorts, blah, blah, blah. You tell them what they get. With me, you will get attention to detail, and you show them by actually applying personally and so on. So you don't just tell, you actually also have to show them, right? You get communication along the way. This is how I would ensure it and so on. And tell them you would be happy to meet them, to get to know them, to get to know their company and their project. You're very excited about entrepreneurship and so on. So this is what your video could look like or what the script could look like. And if we quickly come back to the community, you will see that in the intro video, you again have a prompt which will help you with this whole script. A script plus super simple editing will be enough by far. Use some beauty filters if you want to. My camera has a beauty filter embedded. I can use beauty filters on CapCut and so on. Having a video, even if it's not professional, will set you apart by a lot. CapCut is a free and intuitive editing tool, which I would use if I was you. And the whole thing about the video is getting trust from our customers. There's not much more than you can do to be trustworthy than actually creating a video, putting your face out there, having the courage to be there and actually show the people who you are. No one will see your video and think, because of the video, I will not want to work with that person. So you will not lose anything. In chess, if you can do a chess move which will not put you in a worse position and gives you the chances for a bigger upside, meaning for a better position, you make the move. And this is a move you actually should make. The next move is a portfolio website. Why that? Many customers obviously want to know who they're working with. They watch the video, they also will Google the name and they will search for a website. And if you can provide them the website right from the get-go so they can have a look and can look through the projects you already did or through the builds you did in private but showed on the website, or just can read about your story, what the skills are that you have and where you're actually coming from, this again will increase trust. It will also make it easier for clients to book. And if you embed a calendar on your website, it allows the clients to book outside of Upwork, so you will not have any fees which you will need to pay. Intelligent. It will boost your confidence as well. You can tell your client, hey, check out my website and you see the work that I've done. And it will give you some proof because you can say, I built and deployed this website. So your website itself is another testimonial in a way that you can use, another build, another thing that you've actually done. Very important, and many get this wrong at the beginning. Position yourself as a freelancer. Companies perceive this as less commitment. For them, it is like we bring in a specialist to solve a specific problem and then he leaves. When they bring in an agency, it's like we are hiring another company to do the thing for us. So this is much higher perceived commitment, which at the beginning, definitely we do not want. Eventually, when you have too many clients, you want to go with an agency model, maybe. And I understand this. Some people are happy to just be freelancers and they don't want to become an agency and so on. But if you obviously act as an agency, let's say, and you get a contract, it also might stick more in the long run if we are talking about MRR and so on. But this is not really what we are talking about right here. We want to get a client or many clients as fast as possible and then eventually step up to an agency program or agency model, let's say, if you really want that. How will your website be structured? Pretty simple. You will have a hero section. You will have a services section where you add the things that you're actually capable of doing or which you want to do. You then have an about section about you or your story. You just write something interesting about you. Every person is very interesting. I'm sure you have a bunch of stuff to tell about you. Tell the people. Why not? If someone is considering hiring you, they will read that. They will be interested in you. People like people. Don't think that, I cannot add a lot about me. They don't think it's interesting. This will actually set you apart. This will make you unique. They have 50 different applications. If they decide to move forward with 3 of them, they will look close at those 3. And if they see more resemblance, more human behind the application, behind the person in the screen, it will actually benefit you a lot. Then what you want to add is the process. So how you actually work, and you can copy this from me. This just means we get to know each other. You get some type of consultation. I create a plan and a proposal, and we then structure it in different phases and actually get going like this. And now you want to add testimonials or builds if you can, just like some work experience that you actually have. And you want to add a form or a calendar to your website so people are actually able to book it. Also outside of Upwork, right? We are already doing this work. We do it to increase trust on Upwork, like from Upwork clients, but also if you meet anyone else, you can tell them, hey, I have this website. You can just book a meeting there. And what surprises me a lot is how much people appreciate booking calendars or how rare many people think this is. Like, it gives you a professional appearance right away. If people can book you and you have a working booking calendar with a reminder that they soon have a meeting, this will already make you look very professional. Here, a quick look of my very simple website, and it actually worked. So here you have me, Leandro Ferrari. Here you have what I offer. Here you have how it works, so the process. Then you have some case studies, and then you have let's chat, so a form they could send me. And I also added a standalone page, and I will screen share it afterwards, where I told my story, where I told them I grew up in Switzerland, then I was a Swiss Army officer, I'm a certified personal coach, I was semi-professional soccer player. Just add those things. If you played cricket, whatever you play, if you play Quidditch, I don't care, add it there. Then I told them that I do social media at Swissbatch. So this is a company where I manage the social media for in Switzerland, that I discovered AI in Thailand, and that since then I am serving global companies worldwide. So this is my story. The tools you can use for that are Webflow. They have many templates. You can use Lovable for it. You can use Anti-Gravity for it. You can use Claude Code for it. You can use WordPress for it. I have multiple videos on how to actually copy different websites. I have a anti-gravity tutorial where I show you exactly how you can build a portfolio website and so on. Just have a look at those resources and you will figure it out pretty fast. It's not highest priority, but getting it done could be the difference between actually getting a project or not getting it. So I would do it right away. And here you have my website, super simple. You see those things are changing all of the time. We have little animations in the background. The picture really isn't the best. Here you have what I offer. Very generic AI pictures could improve this as well, but I hope you see the point. Here we have the process, a nice little animation with different colors right here, just to keep it interesting. And now we have different case studies, and these are actually real things that I've done. So I added them right here. See me in action. I also added some YouTube videos right now, just because videos increase trust. Here you can actually join my community for the people which just want to do that. And here they have the form where they can change between one-on-one coaching and AI consulting, which I offer right now. So this is how that looks. And if you go to the About Me section, you see that here I actually tell my story with, again, a button in the end where people can go and have a chat with you. In the school community, you will find the different tools which you can use to do that. You will find different websites which can inspire you on how you want to build your website. You also have all the sections right here, and you have a full prompt which you could give to Lovable or Claude Code, for example, or Anti-Gravity to just build the base of it, and in the end, then adjust it obviously with your preferences. Here you have your name you can add, your service which you can add, your color preferences which you can add, and so on. This will give you a good starting point. Let's go with the Pareto principle, 80-20. Everything is better than nothing. Some last pro tips for the profile section. You always want to keep one tab open. So if you have Upwork open at all times, you will have this small green little circle right here, which means that you are online, and this will actually help you get more responses from your applications. And then there is a Upwork Plus subscription, which you can get. This allows you to add this available now badge, and it also gets you some connects every month. We will have a look at connects right afterwards, but you have multiple benefits doing it. So I would definitely get the Plus subscription. It's worth it. Quick excursus to LinkedIn. Similar to your website, we want to have a nice LinkedIn profile. The thing is, when someone actually Googles your name, your LinkedIn profile will come up if you have one. If you have a very bad one, you don't want this to happen. If you have a good one, you want this to happen. How do you get a good one? You add a website link there, for example, already makes it more credible. You can add a banner there. I will quickly show you how inside of Canva. You will add your beautiful profile picture there and a nice biography. You can actually take the same one that we have written for Upwork. Inside of Canva, you just go to templates, you write LinkedIn banner, and now you see many different LinkedIn banners, just like this one, for example, or all the other ones. And you just take one, you change the colors and so on, and you will be fine. This is already, again, Pareto principle, 80-20. Something is better than nothing. So do something professional and it will help you convert more clients. First, we look at how to find the right jobs, which search filters you can use, how you can save jobs, how you can set alerts, and what a good job posting actually looks like. Then we'll look at the application and all the steps we will be taking there. This is our secret weapon, which will put us above other people. We will then have a look at the connects and how bidding works. And we also look at hourly versus fixed pricing. Upwork allows you to add multiple different filters when you go and search for a job. So you see, you can filter for experience level, for the job type, if you want it hourly, or if you want a fixed price, how much this fixed price should be, and so on. How many proposals were already sent to those jobs. You can search for the best matches, which mostly I don't really like. You can search, or you can have a look at all your saved jobs. And the one I like the most recent jobs, because Upwork is a very fast-paced platform, and having a look at the most recent jobs will actually give you success and money. And you can also write some search terms in there. So this is what it looks like in Upwork, right? You have those different job posts that look like this. You see how many proposals a company has already gotten for their job. This is in the best matches. Then you have the most recent one. So this you see 49 minutes ago, for example, from Azerbaijan. Here you see one which is 54 minutes ago, 1 hour ago, 1 hour ago, and so on. And those are mostly the ones I like to apply to most. Next up, you can also search for, let's say, AI agent, if this is something that you know how to do. And now you have all the different jobs where you have AI or AI agent in there. And here I could then go for entry level, for example, and see all of those jobs. So I see yesterday someone was searched in the entry level for an AI native full stack development with Replit, Cloud Code, and LLM. So see, this probably wasn't an easy job, but still, this is how you can find jobs for entry level people. If you want entry level and expert people, you can filter like this. You can go to fixed price project over 5K only for experts. And this is what you see, right? Estimated budget 100K. If you can somehow summon multiple people to work with you, which you will probably need for a multi-agent AI system like they wanted, and you get such a project, this would be amazing. This would make you a year, right? So you have opportunities on Upwork which are pretty big, even though I don't know if this is actually credible or not, right? And yeah, this is another way of just filtering out those things. You can also filter by location. This helped me a lot, to be honest. I am a native German speaker, and when I applied to Austrian, Swiss, and German companies, my success rate was much higher because I could communicate with them in their primary language. So this just as a tip for you to look out for. This can help you a lot. What are green flags in job descriptions? So number one is reviews. And I know this might sound like special if I want to show you how you can actually get clients without having any reviews, that we are watching for reviews. But in general, if you already had some clients and so on, you want to have other clients which already have reviews on the platform, because you as a freelancer are able to give reviews as well. You want to apply to job posts which were posted recently. I can tell you from experience, if you apply somewhere where the job was posted 2 weeks ago, you will not get that job. 1 week ago, you will probably not get the job. 2 days ago, already hard. So you want to do things from today or yesterday. Then the same country language as you speak natively, this will help you a lot. Why? Because immediate trust with those people. And the next thing is apply to jobs which require tools you already know how to use. You will just make your life easier at the beginning. If you don't know how to use the tools, still apply and try to learn them. But if you already know them, then applying to those jobs obviously makes sense to me. Red flags, 0 reviews. So a client which never hired anyone on Upwork, and bad reviews. This is even worse than 0 reviews if they have bad ones, if they treat their freelancers badly. We don't want them. Next up, huge requirements for little money. We do not want that either, except for the beginning, when you maybe for $200 have the option to actually lead a big project, right? Then look at it as a chance, as being paid in experience and not being paid in money. But normally, if you have like for $50 budget, huge requirements, you do not want to do that. Now, as I said, posted more than 2 days ago, I would probably not do that. Also because the pain might not big enough. Otherwise, they would have already hired. So you're not just competing with more people because many will have applied already. Also, the pain of the company won't be so big because the ones which really want to solve a problem fast, they will probably get back to you after a day or like after some hours sometimes and close a contract on the very same day. It's very, very fast paced. And I wouldn't apply to jobs with 50 plus proposals. The DMs are already full, right? You don't want to slide in there as well. Let's rate 3 job descriptions right here. Here we have AI voice agent development. So what do I like about this? I like the $20 to $55 and intermediate. They are not searching for an expert. So this is cool. I like the 1 to 3 months because it means it's a longer ongoing project. I like the Aus right here. This could mean Australia or Austria. I don't really know, but both are good. And we have AI voice agent development. So this is fine. What do I not like about this? I don't like no reviews. So this is not top. I like, however, that they already spent money and that payment is verified. Next one, lead gen engineer, build and run outbound engine launched up. So this is a very specific job description, right? With a high hourly rate for an expert. Probably getting in there, not easy, but if you really care about the client and if you show him that you could solve his problem, then you could still get in there. This is just what people do, right? They post a job and they see, okay, I can search for an expert, I can search for an intermediate or for a beginner. And obviously many just go to expert, but you can show them that you are the expert without your Upwork profile showing this. Because like we use just common sense, right? At the beginning, your Upwork profile can't look amazing, but you can still just tell them, hey, I just started with Upwork, but I have a lot of experience in other fields. Look at my website and so on. And they have great reviews right here. They spent a lot of money already. So plus they are from Germany. So this is a plus. So this looks like a very good job post to me. I would definitely save that right here. Give it a like. Bam, bam, bam. Good. Next up, a rather bad one. We have the AI calling agent developer. Why is it bad? First of all, the hourly rate is shit. We have $6 to $10. We don't want that. Intermediate is okay, right? We take that. They're not searching for the expert there. They're from Saudi Arabia, so this must actually not mean nothing. And they have $0 spent right here. Meaning Saudi Arabia, this is just neutral. So all the people who want to blame me for anything, go blame me. So this is neutral. Saudi Arabia, but they haven't spent anything. This is bad. They have payment verified. So this is good. We take that. And no reviews. So this is probably also something that I wouldn't apply for. Next up, in your profile, you can actually set job alerts and you can be alerted through email. I did that in the beginning, but keep in mind, you will get lots of emails every time a new job comes in, which matches your description, which matches your alert preferences. You will actually get this email and I was like, it raised some anxiety in me. It was like, I cannot apply to all of them so fast. But you are really on the pulse and it can help you because someone might want to solve the problem. They post a job and they get 10 applications within 1 hour. And if you are one of these and they want to proceed with you, you actually get the job. So the faster you can be, the better it is. So what's my process to actually save jobs? I go search for them with the filters and the search terms, and then I save the jobs I like. So I would go to Upwork, I would go to those different jobs, right? And let's say I like the 100K job, I would save this one, I would then save this one, and then save this one. And now in my saved jobs, I actually have those jobs showing up right here. So this is probably fine. I have all of my saved jobs here. The next strategy I like to use is apply to jobs in bulk, and I would encourage you to do the same thing. So you can save multiple jobs at once, like we saw before, and then you can open up multiple tabs. So in here, I have my saved jobs, right? I have my saved jobs right here. I can press on it and I see all of those jobs. I can then just press on one of these and open it up like that. So I press on it, I go to apply now. This is what I will then see. I would normally press more right here and have it look like that. And then you have multiple different places open where you can actually propose this job, right? So this makes it faster for you to then go through them one by one and actually start applying to the jobs. Let's now look at the application process, and step one, the application process might actually be the most valuable bit inside of this entire course. So in step number one, when we found the job that we want to apply to, we want to build, draw, or pull up something similar to the job description first. So we want to find a similar automation that we already did. We want to mock it up somewhere, or we want to draw it out in Canva. So what we want to do is to understand what the client wants and to show them in some kind of visual manner, which is the closest to the solution that they want, that we can actually solve this problem. And here you see how we show the client that we can solve the problem without having a testimonial, because we actually solve it in some kind of way, right? We lay it out for them so that they see that we understood their vision and that we actually are able to use the tools and so on. My first very big Upwork project came from an application I did for someone who had a job description for about $350. I don't know, not so much. And they had tools listed which I have never seen in my life. And I started working on it, and I started to create this automation that they wanted, and I had to download the tool and log in and connect APIs and so on. It was a whole lot of work. And in the end, I sent them the proposal. I created a video on how I built this small solution, which in the end wasn't even really what we were doing in the end, but it still showed them I actually cared and I used those tools and so on. And I got the project and it paid me like $3.5K, and it was my first bigger project. And I just saw I spent minimum 2 or 3 hours just mocking up this one solution for the video. And in the end, I got the job. So sometimes at the very beginning, it makes sense to spend time to actually learn the things, to understand what the client wants, and to draw or build something which is similar to that solution. You don't need it to work at the beginning. You just need to show that you thought in depth about their problem. And sometimes their problems are simple, and sometimes it is a little more complex. But the more complex the problem is, the more money you can make with it most of the times. And this step will put you in the top 1% of applicants for sure. Why that? We people, we love attention, right? Everyone loves attention. If you have a look at the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, you will see that we love attention. We love when people call our names. We love to talk about our hobbies and so on. And we definitely love to talk about our business. We also like to talk about our problems. And if you see that someone used his free will to spend time solving your problem, this will definitely help you. This is how this could look like. So in make.com, which is a great platform for automations, it was very easy, right, to pull something up which looked nice. And I could show them, okay, so first we have the Google Sheets and we have the leads there. And with the information from the Google Sheet, we then create some custom icebreakers with ChatGPT and we feed them back to the Google Sheet. And then we go have a filter and we look at the names of the people and figure out if they're male or female. I think it was something about this in this automation. Here you have something with NADN. Again, you just pull something up. Nowadays with Cloud Code and the MCP connection with NADN, you can actually just take the job description of Upwork. You can feed it to your AI model and tell it to build out in NADN what you think they want. And in the end, you will get something like this. And you can just show them, oh, this is what it could look like, blah, blah, blah. And this will already put you in the 1%. And the next thing is, for example, if they want a website built, you just go to Webflow, you search a nice template and you show them, oh, look, this is what the website could look like for you. We could build something similar just like that. Then we also have the very easy visual method. So this is in Canva, where you can just take some different symbols. And let's say this client wanted probably a retargeting CRM, something like this. So what you would say, I understand. You are targeting people through meta ads, and the ones which are positively replying to it, we want to add them to a CRM. The ones which then agree to a call with us will actually get another text message, and then in the end, they will get the call. This should be a phone. Embarrassing. Let me do it like this. They will get the call. Good. The other ones which said yes in the first place, but then didn't agree to a call, will get into an email retargeting campaign where every 3 days we will send them another email. They are in our customer base, and the goal is to get them there. And then, you can give them some numbers. So if we have 1,000 people here and we have 100 taking the next steps, then we have 900 in this lower section right here. And if just 1% of them every day go up here, then in the end we will have 27 more. So we have 100 and so on. You see what I mean? You just tell them what you think about the project. And if they like it, they like it. And if they don't, they don't. This looks like a mess, but it is fine. Now that we know how to apply in the best manner possible, we will get responses from people. And we will need to turn those responses into clients, those warm leads into clients. And this is what the next section is all about. Once we applied, the ball will actually be in our client's hands or on his feet or whatever sport you like. He will then have a look at all of the different applications he got and will discard some of them. So these go into the trash can, and others will pass his first review, and he will then text those people. And in the case where we get a message back, we are one of those people. Now, as soon as we get the message back, it's our turn again. What we will do is actually say, thank you very much for considering us. This is super amazing. And our goal must be to schedule a meeting. And we want to do this as fast as possible. And here, my friends, you see Bruce Lee and his quote, "Be like water." Because there is no process that works every single time with every single client in the exact same way. If you have a business and you always sell the same service, you always sell the same product, then probably after someone is interested, there are multiple different ways how the conversation could go, right? And you can find solutions for all of those ways and different messaging templates for those ways. In our case, however, this is not the case because all the clients have different things that they want to solve, and therefore we need to adapt. We need to be like water. We need to be flexible. Still, the goal is to lead in some kind of way and to lead them to a discovery call. If they said, yes, this is amazing, then before the discovery call, what we do is we prepare. We want to know everything about the company. We want to know everything about the process that they're building. We want to build the process again, and so on. We then go on to the discovery call. We ask them all the different questions and we make them fall in love with us, right? We want to build a connection with the client. At the end of the call, we will tell them how the whole thing will proceed, meaning what will happen next. And in the end, we will finish the call. We will give them a kiss, and they can wait for our proposal. Within 4 to 24 hours after the call is finished, we will propose to them. And the possibility that they say yes is pretty high, especially on Upwork. However, they could also say no. And then we just want to know why. We can follow up another time to understand if we could resolve those issues. And otherwise, we just learned something, which is also okay. Keeping this between 4 and 24 hours, however, is super important. The faster you can get the proposal out, the better it is. This was the fast run through. Let's have a look at it in detail. After the client messaged you back, the goal is to schedule a meeting ASAP Rocky. And now you might think, why? Why I don't want this. No, Leandro, I don't want to hop on a call. This is exactly what I don't want. I'm shy and so on. We need to, brother, sister, we need to get there. We go on to the call to understand the full scope. We need to understand the scope of the project so that we can actually write a proper proposal, right? We need to know what people are involved, how the process actually looks like to be able to price it properly. We also want to know, are we compatible? There are some clients which you don't want to work with, and maybe you don't believe that yet, but once you get some responses coming in, once you had some sales calls, you see that there are some people, like I had one person out of New York where we talked and it was horrible, truly horrible. I was really asking, like, can't you just explain me what you want? He couldn't. It was amazing. Would never work with such a person. And you will see that you don't want to work with certain type of people. Then we had to build rapport. We need this to increase our chances of the person actually saying yes. Remember, even if they messaged you that they're interested, they probably also messaged other people, right? It's easy for the client to message a bunch of people and see how they react after they got the message. If they're still so interested, if they're still so detail oriented, if they still want to know everything about the project and so on. And then we also want to immediately start leading. Why? People love this. And now you might think, no, I don't like to be led. And if you're entrepreneurial, that could well be. But in the military, I learned that if you have a bunch of people and you need to do a task, and you as a leader, which I was in this case, is not leading, this is chaos and this is not good. People like structure. And if you come in there as a freelancer, telling them exactly how you want to have your kickoff call done, what phase number 1 of the project is, phase number 2, how their communication will be with you, and so on. This will show them, okay, this guy knows what he is doing. I just got a positive remark of a client yesterday. I sent him the booking calendar. He said, yes, I wanted to book tomorrow afternoon, but I can't. And I told him yes, because I don't allow 24 hours before to book a meeting, because I actually want to prepare for those meetings, right? I don't want someone to book a meeting in 2 hours. This will screw me up a lot. And he said, that's amazing. You're doing such a good job, and so on. Once you got the positive reply, you could say something like this. Hey, I would like to schedule a meeting to get to know you and your company better. X or Y would work perfect for me. Otherwise, you can directly schedule a meeting here, and then you send them your calendar link. And again, be like water, my friend. Some people first want to clarify a few questions, and then you don't immediately ask for the meeting. You reply to their questions, and then you start leading. So it's not always the same. Just adapt to the situations, be flexible. The bigger you get as a freelancer, the bigger you get as an agency or company, the more rigid you can get, and the more you let the other people play to your rules. But I would say for the first 2 or 3 clients, try to set up your rules, but be flexible in breaking them and do everything you can to actually get them on board. Next, be lightning fast. Be Usain Bolt. Is this a lightning? No, it is not. Hey, lightning, like this. Be lightning fast, be Usain Bolt. Responding to leads within 1 minute can increase conversion by 391%. No joke. While a 5-minute response window makes you 21 times more likely to qualify a lead, reducing response time from 30 minutes to 5 minutes can boost conversion rates up to 100x, as 78% of customers buy from the first responder. So here you see why it's important to be the first to, or one of the first to propose to the job. So be fast when you get an alert, but also you need to be fast in replying to the customer at the very beginning. So this is super, super important. Be very fast. Be fast with the proposal, be fast with the meeting, and so on. Those customers are in pain. They want a solution now. In the community, you will find multiple different links. Calendly is amazing to set up your calendar. LunaCal is actually a great option because you can pay it one time on AppSumo. I linked it there, and you will have access forever. You pay about $50 and you're fine. Cal.com is great if you want to do automations and so on. And then TidyCal is also great. It is also on AppSumo, as you see right here. And you pay one time, I think only $30, and you have a scheduling calendar there as well, but not too many options to customize stuff and so on. Then prepare. I assume you know Alex Hormozy. This is a quote of his. Fastest way to increase how smart everyone thinks you are when you walk into a room, be the most prepared. You win the war with the work you do before you sit down to the table, not with what you say after. So how do we actually prepare? You want to know as much about the company and the person as you can. This will make or break the deal. Your first discovery call will make or break the deal. You have to know which questions you need to ask for this specific job, right? You can already build the thing, build the solution, show the solution on the call, for example. And even if there isn't room to show the solution on the call, you still will go into the call much more confident because you already know that you were able to solve a part of the problem. Your confidence is plus 100. Testimonial build is plus 1 if you build it beforehand, and it's usable on the call. You will not always show them the solution. Maybe you don't want that out of strategic reasons. You don't want to see them that you already did the thing and it's much cheaper and already done, and why should they pay you? So this is also like a be like water thing, right? Sometimes you want it, sometimes not. And what you also could do is like prepare some kind of form which they could fill out before the call, so you have certain answers to the questions already, or you can prepare a form which you will fill out during the call and so on. So this is how you can prepare. Now, information is a duty of the recipient to collect. I learned this in the Swiss Army. In German, it's Information ist eine Hohlschuld, meaning it's our responsibility to get all of the information that we need to make a proper proposal and actually provide value to the client. Figure out what you need before and during the call, and then go and get it in whatever way you think is the best one. Now, what's the call structure? You want to lead. I said it and I say it again. You want to lead. The client wants you to be in charge of what is happening. He has a problem, right? If he knew how to solve the problem, he wouldn't be there discussing it with you. So make sure that you, even if you're scared, even if you don't know exactly how you will approach it, you need to seem a little confident. And with preparation, you can actually get to the point where you are confident on the call, and then you lead. Now, first off, you want to introduce yourself and build some kind of rapport. Use background info about the client for that. You go to the client's website. You can find this out for questions before the call. You can go to your client's LinkedIn, ask him for his name. Just use whatever you can, actually. Again, great book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Go and have a look. Read it and use tactics there to build rapport at the very beginning. Ask the client then if it's all right to use the following call structure, meaning the call structure that you want to use. If he says no, already tricky client, but you can go with his structure and whatever he wants, or say, okay, let's go with all the questions you want to ask me first, and then I will ask you mine, right? So you can give him the ball shortly, and he can go through the questions, and then you will go and do your script afterwards. You want to understand, and this is the primary objective of this call, really. You want to understand the full process from front to back. You want to understand what the client exactly wants, what his dream solution is, who is involved in this solution, what type of tools are involved in these solutions, how long should it go to create this solution, and so on and so on. So understand the process, ask your questions, go into detail, who is involved, which tools, what clients are they serving, and so on, timeline, problems they have at the moment. Then you want to lay out the dream solution, something like this. So if I understood correctly, you want to have a CRM system that notifies the owner and the staff members and filters based on this and filters based on that. If you have a yes, then you have exactly what you need. And you do not stop until you have a yes, because you need to understand it to create a proposal and actually build a solution, right? So you need to understand the dream solution. And the best way is for you to talk it out and for them to say, yes, this is what we want. Then you will tell them how you will proceed in a way of, you can expect a full proposal in the next 24 hours. Then you give them a kiss and you say bye-bye. To help yourself, you can use a doc or a form to actually get through the questions. Just make sure you don't forget any of the most important things. But if you get to a point where you can state their dream solution and they say, yes, this is it, then you should actually be fine. And if you forget something, then text the client as soon as possible, because our proposal must go out fast. We are competing against other people, right? The client will not tell us how many other people are in the race. I had a client once who told me, but this is not normal for clients to tell you, hey, you are competing against 3 others. And now you're only competing against 1. This was like how it was in my case. And he wanted me to push the price down and so on. So it was a strange thing. However, it can happen and you want to be the fastest with the proposal. So if you forget something, just go back to your client and say, I'm sorry, I forgot. Again, can you please tell me? And then he will say, yes, of course. Now, during the call, if you want to make notes and seem cool, then do that. But really, I would just use some kind of AI meeting recorder like Fireflies, ClickUp, Copilot, Fathom, or 1 million other solutions that are on the market. I linked most of them in my school community, so just go and have a look. Take a free one. I used Fathom for the most amount of time. Now that I use ClickUp as my CRM and project managing tool, I actually use the ClickUp meeting recorder. I think it's amazing. So you might want to have a look into that. And again, also for the call, we have the primacy effect, right? Where at the beginning, we want to seem very competent. So we want the lighting to be good. We want the audio to be good. We want to know stuff about the company, and we want the end to be very professional. We want to tell them exactly what is going to happen next, what they can expect of us. Let's have a look at some pro tips for the call. First of all, learn how to share your screen. If you cannot do that, super unprofessional. So really make sure you know how you do that. Then you want to have front light again, so light shining into your face. If you don't have a light, make everything dark and make your screen as bright as possible. Also a option. And in general, if you have windows and the sun is shining, just sit in front of the window and let the sun shine into your face. This will do it. Or best case, buy a $10 ring light or a $20 or $30 or a softbox or whatever. Just like invest in those things. They're super important. Next up, microphone. A cheap one will do. First of all, you will have a better privacy effect on the other person. Plus, you will be more confident, right? If you look good on camera, this will make you more confident. Then on Google Meet, you will have some kind of beauty filter, by the way, which you can use. So use it if you think it will make you look better. And I like blurry backgrounds much more than fake background. It's much more authentic. So use a blurry background on Google Meet. I think it's much better. And you have the internet connection, which should be good. So if I go to Google Meet right here and I start an instant meeting and I'll join, what we will now see is my face right here, right? Where is the camera? Here I am. Okay, I am lagging because my laptop is going all over the place, but this is fine. And here in the meeting tools, you can actually change a bunch of things, right? So where is it? Give me a second. Here, you can change the background effects and you can add some blur, right? If you really don't like your background, add more blur. Normally, I think I go with this one, but this one looks professional as well. And then you can also go to filter in appearance right here, portrait touch up, right? You can go to smooth and now you will look smoother than before, or you can just go to subtle. It will do most of the things automatically, I think. But yeah, this is how you can improve your looks with Google Meet. So that's for that. Perfect. Adios. Let's return to our presentation. Once your call is done, in 90% of the cases, you will need to send a proposal. Now let's have a look at how this actually works. Of course, there are automations to do this. At the beginning, however, you want to do as much of the unscalable work as you can. Be in the trenches, pour your soul into it. Don't try to automate your proposals right from the beginning. Write them, understand what you're offering. Take time. This is important. This is a skill which you can use in every single business you do afterwards. Knowing how to write proposals is super important, and therefore I would write the first 10, 15, 20 proposals yourself, maybe even the first 50 yourself until you fully automate something. A proposal automation would look something like this. You have your call transcript, so your AI summarizes what you talked about with your client. You then have an AI model which analyzes this transcript and has the instruction to fill in certain parts of a template that you already created. If we go the manual way, this is what happens. We have the transcript from our call, and we now use our brain right here, plus obviously AI to help us write this proposal. Hey, ChatGPT, what do you think is a fair price for that? Hey, Claude, how could I write this in a way where it is easier to understand in simpler terms and so on? And then you will still work with templates, but you will fill out the blanks yourself. How are my proposals structured? I start with a thumbnail, let's say some type of title page. Then I have a problem page right here where I list out the current problems that we discussed. Then I write out all the solutions to those problems. Then I will show them what the scope of work is, meaning what things need to be built, designed, done to actually create those solutions, to solve the problems, and so on. Then I split all of this into timelines. So this solution is first, then we do this, then we do this, then we do this. Then I give them a pricing, a very detailed pricing. So nice pricing tables where I list every single thing that I'm doing inside of the project. I don't do this to make it more expensive, but to make it perceived as more valuable. So if it's setting up accounts, then building automation number one, building notification system, building API connection, connecting MCP tools of this and this and this tool, right? Things like this. You really just lay out all the different things. It is super transparent for your customer. He sees all of the things that you need to do. It seems like, oh my God, he's doing a lot of work. And in the end, I ended with, thanks for reading this. You can contact me on WhatsApp here, or an email here, or on Upwork, or whatever. You just add what you want to add in the end. Just be kind. In my school community, you can find the whole proposal template right here. You see a template of a client that I actually closed right here. I obviously deleted their name, but just have a look at the pricing table, for example. So it was instantly platform setup, make.com automation development, Pipedrive CRM and integration notifications, campaign setup, domain purchase and configuration, and so on and so on. So this was how I showed it to them. Monthly recurring cost, all the different things just like this. And then I also had different plans or packages for that specific client. So this was a little bit like of an exception. Again, be like water, as Bruce Lee said. And in here, you will also find a PDF which will serve as your proposal template. You can use that where you see, okay, problem, state main problem, problem one, la la la. Solutions, same thing. And now you have the scope of work where you list all of the different things, timeline and the process. And again, you can have a look at the pricing tables and you can rebuild your proposal template based on that. Why do we use different phases? So this gives us more order. This is better for us and our client. When I talk about phases, I mean phases in time. So phase number 1 could be 1 week from now, and these are the 2 automations that we will build there. Phase number 2 is setting up the ad campaign. Phase number 3 is the first reporting and so on. And phase number 4 will be monthly recurring reports on how we perform. And phase number 1 is always paid at the start of the project. Most of the times I actually tell my clients to pay me the phase number 1 at the beginning, and I ask for the release of the payment right away. And this could be $200, $300, whatever it is, like a fifth of the project. Not too much, but just for us to get the money right away and for the money to be reinvestable into other things. So this is why I like phases a lot. When we send the proposal, we don't just send a PDF and no message, of course. We do it different. We do it personal. Exactly. We set the proposal with a Loom video where you go through it. This makes it much more personal and people appreciate that. Once again, in chess, if you can make a move which doesn't weaken your position but could help it in the long run, then you do the move. So what I would do if we quickly open up the proposal, let's say the closed client proposal, I would do something like this. Hey, I just finished your proposal. Here I have stated the problems. At the moment, you are focusing on just one single advertising channel. You don't have systematic outbound or lead generation strategies. You are missing one of the most cost-effective lead generation channels by not using cold email. You have limited market expansion capabilities and no direct prospect relationship building because your Google ads do not really allow you to prospect decision makers in certain types of fields. These are the solutions that I have. So first we would need to create an Instantly account, blah, 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 all of those things, right? And here you see it was a bunch of stuff. Here are the different service packages I created for you guys. So we need to first have an initial setup and configuration, and then we have a monthly management service to actually generate leads. This is what the timeline looks like, and this is your investment. And if there is anything special, right, in your proposal, and you know that better than anyone else at this point because you wrote it, then you are able to clarify those things. If you think that something wasn't entirely sure or entirely clear, or you didn't know exactly how to write it, then you can clarify those things with a Loom message. This is not something you have to do, and especially for smaller projects, like a $200 project, something like this, maybe it is not required. But at the beginning, just go all the way. Do the extra mile, they told us in soccer. If you send a proposal, there are 2 different outcomes. Outcome number 1 is a yes. And then it's time to celebrate, get the champagne and the beautiful ladies. If they say no, then you ask them why, you follow up another time, and then we just want to learn, right? What was it that did not convince you about the thing? Sometimes they ghost you, this can happen, but this is just business, right? So we are just learning, and if you can take a learning out of your no, then this is amazing. Let's say they said yes, and you finished celebrating with champagne. we now actually need to deliver the thing, right? How do we do this? We first start with a kickoff call. I do this mostly. I did not have one project yet where this wasn't required. I really like it, just to kick off the project. It gives me a good feeling. And then you go into phase 1, you communicate, you go into phase 2, you have the handoff. Again, be like water. Here, it's hard to say exactly how you will do it because the projects will be so different. If you always just sell cold email systems, then you know exactly, I could tell you exactly what you need to do in every single stage. Since, however, Upwork projects are so diverse, this is not really possible. What I can tell you, however, is something about the kickoff call, which will be necessary in 95% of the cases, in my opinion. Before we go into the kickoff call, let's have a quick look at project management. So you want to find your best way to work. I like to work with ClickUp. Someone else might like to work on paper. Someone else uses his iPad to draw up things there and write his tasks there. Someone else just uses Google Calendar. Whatever it is that works for you is fine. If you use Notion, it's fine. ClickUp is fine. Monday.com is fine. Essentially, you want a place where you can store all passwords, all tasks that need to be done, and maybe some time progress tracking, whatever makes you happy, whatever actually fulfills your autism. Here are some tools. You will find them linked in my school community. This is something you don't have to worry about until you have a client. And then you will try something and you will see what you like and what you don't like, and you will test it out and experience with it. It's all fine. This is normal. It will take some time. Now let's have a look at the kickoff call. First of all, we want to tell them that we are happy to be working with them. We actually got a client and now we can solve real world problems. Wow, this is the worst smiley I've ever seen. And now we can solve real world problems, and this is what it's all about. I'm a firm believer that in the long run, we will get paid as much money as value we provide. So if you provide a lot of value to many companies, in the long run, you will be paid fairly for this value. And in the short term, you might not be paid in a fair manner. You might also be paid too much for the skills that you have in the short term, and it will bite you in the long term. You might just get lucky at the very beginning. Whatever it is, I think, or I have full faith that it will even out in the end. You will be paid, or you will make as much money as you are worth. This just as a quick disclaimer. Let's get to point number 2. Get all the passwords. So mostly, especially in our AI times, we will be working in our clients' accounts, connecting one tool to another, building some types of solutions for them. Maybe we build a SaaS product for them, and we need to have their account where this is actually running on, right? They want it under their email address. They want it on their server and so on. And we need to get access to all of those different accounts. And if we can, we also want to use referral codes. So let's say I have a client which wants to do a project on Lovable, and Lovable has a 20% referral code and costs $25 per month. Then I get a small kickback of $5. My God, $5 per month from that. If now we use 10 other tools as well, and combined they cost $1,000 per month, and combined they have a kickback rate of 10%. If I use referral codes, then I can make $100 a month just from referrals. And the company on the other side will actually not care because they need to pay this money anyway. If I can get a little bit more, they will be fine, right? We're not enemies now. You are the freelancer helping them. They are hiring you. You are a part of their company. You are there to serve their customers. Now let's look at communication. There is no right or wrong, especially at the beginning. So try out different things. Maybe you like WhatsApp a lot and you don't like to hop on meetings. And if this is fine for the client, then use that. Maybe your client insists on Slack. Then you go there. Maybe he insists on Telegram. I actually had that once. It was very strange, but I did it. All right. You go there. There's no right or wrong. Just learn, figure out what you like most, and then ask clients in the future if this is how they want to communicate, if this is fine for them, this is how you would do it. Also give them some expectation on how long it will take for you to reply to them. Most of the times clients like to know, okay, if I text him, I will get a response back within 24 hours at the same business day and so on. Just make those things clear and stick to them. At the end, ask for a testimonial, especially on Upwork. This is super important. You want to have some good reviews. Now, how do you grow this into a big freelance business, into an agency eventually? First of all is consistent outreach. And this for at least the first 50 to 100 days, where every day you wake up and at the same time you do outreach, 5 to 10 applications every day, 5 to 10 applications every day until you do not have the time anymore because you have so many clients. So this is how you grow at the beginning. Then you want to implement systems, right, which make you more effective. Project management systems, automations, there the proposal automation would come into play, and so on. Next up, you would want to expand to different client acquisition channels. Mostly this would be something like cold email, maybe organic LinkedIn outreach. Maybe you would run ads on Google or Meta. So you would add more client acquisition channels and bring them to some kind of funnel. And in the end, you would want to niche down. So these two, they could also be interchanged, but niching down on Upwork is hard. There you can niche down on tools, but hardly on specific solutions, on specific products that you serve with or that you create. However, if you go cold email, if you go ads, if you go SEO and so on, you can definitely niche down and should do that so that you can systemize more processes, right? Niching down will help you to create more accurate systems. What does consistent outreach mean? 5 to 10 applications per day, every day. This means in the first month, you would have 150 to 250 applications. And this means that you will have more clients than you can handle. Systems means proposal automation, as I said, CRM automation, project management systems, those ordinary things. Third, more client acquisition channels. Again, LinkedIn organic, LinkedIn automated outreach, cold email outreach, super good. I would actually, right after Upwork, I would go with this one. You have SEO and then you have math, ads, probably this one. Also a very good decision to expand. Number 4, niching down. This makes you more expensive. Like if you niche down, if you're just the N8N guy, the Make.com guy, the Claude Code guy, and you have 15 to 20 projects under your belt and someone really wants to work with you, you can immediately charge more because you're in this niche. So the farther down your niche, the more you can actually charge. Now, you can also build and sell specific solutions to a specific avatar, which makes targeting, so if this stop and this is an arrow, which makes targeting much easier. Let's come to the closing. So, as you saw, there is a system to the madness called Upwork. Most of the people, they are lazy and inconsistent, and you see that it is some work that is involved to actually make it work on Upwork. But you will also see that most of the people probably at this time will not be watching the tutorial. And if you are one of them, you will also be one of those people having the guts to really go all in, personalize as much as possible and get those jobs. You now also see that experience is more important than money at the beginning. I hope I could show you why it is so important at the beginning to get experience and not just go for the highest paying jobs, but to look at this as I get my first 3 or 5 jobs to actually get clients, to know how it is to deliver a project, to know how it is to get a project, to know how it is to write a proposal, and so on. In the long run, you will get paid what you're worth. I think I explained that just before. It is important to prepare as much as you can. Alex Hormozy said this, and I can just reaffirm it for you. Then confidence is key, and you got this, brother or sister or whoever is watching. I know you got this. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Do the unscalable first. So go full manual. This will definitely help you. The last thing I ask you is to join Make Money with AI. It's free for the first 1,000 members, but probably paid by the time you will see this. Inside of Make Money with AI, I have a 30-day module where I guarantee your first customer. So if you paid for it, you will guaranteed have your first customer after 30 days if you do the things that I said. So just come to www.school.com/mmwa and you will find the community. This is what it looks like. Would love to have you here. First link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Adios.